Welcome, everybody, back to the BB&T Center. We are set for hockey. The Panthers welcoming in the New York Rangers. Final meeting this season between these two teams. Tonight's telecast is presented by the Florida Lottery. And as we mentioned, it is quite a goaltending matchup here tonight. And we go inside the nets for BB&T.
Henrik Lundqvist for the Rangers will be between the pipes. If you take a look at Alexander Barkov, and 8 points last 9 games for Alexander Barkov. He's been on quite a tear for the Florida Panthers.
There he is chatting with Sean Bergenheim, the fellow Finn. Brad Boyes on the other side, and Campbell and Gilbert back on defense, and here we go. New Year's Eve, final game of the 2013 season. What a year it's been for the Panthers. The NHL was in a work stoppage at this time last year. Then the Cats try to defend their division title, finished last. Here's Bergenheim cutting in and shooting wide. New coach, new team owner. Wild 365 days, you never know. Barkov line holding it in the zone here. Hagelin hustles over. Bergenheim tried to climb around him, but couldn't.
That red hot line for the Panthers started the game. They were +8 between them last game. Pretty amazing what they were able to do. Really controlled the whole game while they were on the ice.
Kulikov had a goal Sunday against Montreal. Played a good game, 21.5 minutes. Huberdeau goes cross ice. Weaver takes a shot right on save. Huberdeau goes to the net. Couldn't get a shot on net. Penalty coming up on the Rangers. Panther power play coming up. Weaver in front, chipped wide by Fleischmann. Great start for the Panthers, and a little more than a minute in, they get the man advantage.
Panthers able to continue where they left off against Montreal. Good pressure, good shot on the net by Mike Weaver. Ends up being a hooking call. Panthers get the first power play of the game, JT Miller. That good shot on net, good low shot, and then Huberdeau going hard to the net. Number 10, Miller, put the stick into the midsection of Huberdeau. The arm goes up. Both the referees had the arm in the air. A no-doubt penalty. And the Panthers this time get the first power play 1:06 in.
And the power play has looked better of late. And Kopecky wins the draw quickly back for Campbell and now Huberdeau. Rangers are aggressive. Bukestad centering feed blocked away by Mark Stahl back in the Ranger lineup. He's missed 10 games with a concussion. Huberdeau put into the slot. It comes through to Fleischmann. Campbell straight on, takes a shot. Comes right back to Brian Campbell. Stahl able to get a hold of it and clear. Rangers will get a change.
And you mentioned this Ranger penalty killing group, very aggressive. What that means for the Panthers, got to make sure that puck is off your stick in a hurry. That puck movement has to be precise.
Former Panther Dominic Moore out there now for the Rangers. He's got the puck. Stolen away. Nice play, Kulikov. They give to Kopecky, but he couldn't gain the line. And here comes Moore the other way. Moving in on the backhand, Tim Thomas. First game in 3 weeks makes the save. Bukestad. Fleischmann now. And Sean Bergenheim, who's blistering hot, 5 goals his last 6 games. Here's Boyes in front. Taken away by Girardi. And he's able to get it down the ice.
Brad Boyes, a lot of chances last game for the Panthers. Had 3 shots on net, but he missed the net 5 times. And those 5 times he missed the net were grade A scoring chances. Love to see just Brad Boyes, when he gets those chances, make sure they get on net.
Amazing, he had 2 more blocks. So he took 10 shots in that game Sunday against Montreal. Now Kulikov up at the blue line, over to Tom Gilbert. He had a good game Sunday, a pair of assists. Alexander Barkov. Boyes from the slot, blocked in front by Stahl and then cleared by Stahl. Good setup. This is the halfway point tonight for the Panthers, their 41st game. Sean Matthias out there as the penalty on Miller winds down. Matthias try to gather in with speed and possession. 1 out of 2 though. Miller's out of the box. Rangers do the job because the penalty had just ended. That's an icing call on the Rangers.
Henrik Lundqvist, one of the game's best, has been solid. Tim Thomas getting his first start for the Panthers in 10 games. Tim Thomas, love to have him back into the net. This is game number 400 for Tim Thomas. So good milestone for him. And down at the other end, Henrik Lundqvist He's allowed 3 goals or more in 8 straight games. Little bit of goaltending controversy. Cam Talbot, the backup, has played well. But this is Henrik Lundqvist's team, and we'll see how he plays. He was very good in the third period last game against Tampa Bay in their 4-3 win.
Yeah, they were coming after him. You know, the Rangers had a 4-2 lead. He gave up a goal to make it 4-3. You said, uh-oh, but then Lundqvist made some very good saves Sunday against the Lightning in that third to hold on for the victory. Gotch won the draw. Petrovic stepped up, got a piece of it. Petrovic again trying to hold it in the zone. Battling with Boyle, but it's carried out, and JT Miller with Brassard. Breaking over the Panther line. Miller on the backhand save. Big rebound in front. Petrovic's got it. Matthias looking to get ahead of Steen. He gets tripped up. They let that one go, though. Gotch behind the net, not free. Jimmy Hayes after with Brad Richards. Coming over to help was Stralman, back in the Ranger lineup after missing time with an injury. Hayes knocks it down at center. Once again out of the Panther lineup with injury, Winchester, Upshaw, Goodbranson, and Ed Jovanovski. Otto and Gomez, the healthy scratches tonight. Rick Nash throws it out to center.
See if the Panthers last game against Montreal, they simply wore down the Canadians with that forechecking pressure. It was just line after line after line.
Bergenheim had some trouble, so the play went off sides.
Lane Vigneault and the Rangers, they've been decent on the road. They've won 9 of the last 12 games on the road, 500 on the season, and it's been their power play of late. 8 power play goals their last 6 games. Peter Horchek and the Panthers looking to finish 2013 on a good note. And for the Panthers, it's an even strength. You can see in the 12 wins under Horchek, they've outscored their opponent 35-15 at even strength. Pretty incredible numbers.
Now you talk to the players, and Huberdeau now gets a steal for Fleischmann. The shot goes wide. And they know exactly what the game plan is and what they're trying to do, what the main focus is. Every game, every shift. And you see that, Billy, because when the Panthers stay out of the penalty box and they get those 4 lines and the 6D rolling, boy, they get it going pretty well. Bukestad is in. Came right through the blue paint. Campbell through Bukestad. Zuccarello winds it around. And now Kreider. Stolen away or knocked down by Bukestad. Here's Connor Allen playing his second NHL game, 37 in white. Dylan Olsen back quickly to Drew Shore. Campbell takes a look. Olsen has to come back. And then Barch able to chip in. Barch, Shore, and Hayes on for Florida. Good hit by Barch. Olsen stepped up, but Boyle able to backhand out. 3 days off for the Panthers. Back at it Saturday at home against Nashville at 7 o'clock. Here comes Moore breaking in on the backhand and hit the post. Oh, Dominic Moore. High on the backhand, but it caught the iron.
Goaltenders will always tell you the backhand is the toughest to read. It comes off the stick. Goaltenders not always aware of it. Dominic Moore tried to go upstairs, rang it off the iron behind Tim Thomas.
Thomas quickly moves that puck for Kulikov, spins it around for Weaver. Panthers dodge a bullet there. Nearly 6 minutes in, Rangers have a 3-1 shot advantage. Marcel Gotch gathers the puck off the boards. Gotch takes a shot, blocked by Moore. Miller finds an open man, but too far out of the reach of Moore. Matthias on the wing. On the Gotch and Kopetsky line. Kulikov, nice speed for Gotch. Tries to send Kopetsky in, but play was broken up. Stralman for the Rangers. Brassard had some trouble, and Bergenheim knocked it free, but taken back by Zuccarello, who leads the Rangers in scoring. How about that midway through the season? Guys like Richards and Nash, it's Zuccarello on top of the score sheet. We get a whistle, and scoreless in the first on New Year's Eve.
The Rangers scoreless, just getting started. Couple forwards are caught, so is Matthias, but watch the hustle by Matthias on the lower left of your screen. This is the hustle that is starting to take place for the Panthers. That could have been a 3-on-2 for the New York Rangers. Not only was it not a 3-on-2, they didn't even get the puck. Sean Matthias hard back through the middle on that back check. Sean Matthias, couple early shifts, seems like he's skating really well to start this game.
Well, the 2-on-1s, the 3-on-2s were commonplace early in the year. It's really been cleaned up by the Panthers. Loose stick on the ice. Boys up high. Holds it in for Barkov. The 18-year-old has been hot. Gets it to Boys. But now Stahl winds it around the boards in the clear for the Rangers.
Those 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s have been cleaned up because of hustle plays like that. Sean Matthias comes back hard. That could have been easily a 3-on-2 for the Rangers without that kind of hustle. And the Panthers have gotten it done with defense. I mean, in their 14 wins, they've allowed 25 goals against. They are 14-1 on the season when they allow 2 goals or less. So defensive hockey, Peter Horchuk, they get that low number against. They win hockey games.
Off the 4-1 win the other night against the Canadiens. Weaver looks out to center, knocked down by McDonough, and then Nash flips it in the Panther zone. Kulikov moves it quickly for Bjugstad. Up on the wing, Fleischmann spins. Fleischmann is in. McDonough closed on him. Pinballs to Kulikov, chips it down low. Bjugstad hammers one from the goal line. Weaver over to hold it in. Jonathan Huberdeau sets up Fleischmann. Saved by Lundqvist. Fleischmann again, it goes wide. Oh, what a setup by Huberdeau. But Lundqvist made the stop on Fleischmann. Fleischmann again for Bjugstad. Sharp angle shot at Lundqvist. One more time. Nice shift for this line.
Thomas Fleischmann bangs his stick in frustration. He started it with a play into the zone with a little spinorama. Left all alone in front. Look at the high jump to knock it down and then splits by Lundqvist. The flexibility by Lundqvist. Look at the legs by Lundqvist, how far he's able to stretch out. That puck was rolling on Fleischmann, was unable to settle it down. But Lundqvist with a big early save as Fleischmann looks at Big Red, the scoreboard, to see the replay.
20 points leading the team, but only 5 goals this season for Fleischmann. He's had the chances. Gotch knocks it down. Kopetsky there as well. Played up the boards. Gilbert got a piece of it, but now it comes out of his own. Zuccarello, lead pass. And here comes Broussard on the backhand. Blocked away. Nice play by Campbell. Then Broussard gave Campbell a shot, but he pops right back up to play the puck. Kopetsky makes one move. Regains control. Matthias hustling in after. There he is again, Billy using those legs. Marcel Gotch back in the corner. Matthias behind the net for Kopetsky. Matthias one more time. Had a little trouble with it. Played up the boards. And Broussard on the clear. Dylan Olsen back defensively as Richards climbs over the Panther line. Takes a shot blocked by Olsen. Couldn't clear though. Richards for Allen. Rister knocked down in front. Zuccarello gives to Richards. On the backhand, it came right through everybody. Sharp angle shot was blocked by Gotch. Rangers buzzing a bit now. Zuccarello deflects wide. Panthers need to clear, and Campbell off the glass will get it. It'll be an icing call, though, on the Panthers. Follow the Panthers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get all the team information and more. Panthers social media is powered by Ford.
Energetic start. Good pace to this hockey game. Sean Matthias has been buzzing early. Probably the best Panther forward to start this game. First half of this first period.
Panthers want to stretch. They are in a stretch now, about 6 minutes without allowing a shot on goal. Big face-off win by Gotch, but the Panthers need to get the clear. They do, and now they're able to get, well, at least a partial change. Rangers try to catch him in the change. Olsen stepped up, but couldn't control. Nash throws it on net. Easy save there for the 39-year-old Tim Thomas. What a job Billy Scott Clemenson did coming in while Thomas was hurt. Clem was good.
He did. Scott Clemenson came up with some big games. Got to give him a lot of credit. Now Tim Thomas back healthy. And with Clemenson and that confidence, got a pretty good goaltending combination for the Panthers. The numbers for Clemenson, but those 5 wins were all recently in that stretch that he just put together.
Allen's point shot knocked away by Kulikov. Allen again. Delzato once again a healthy scratch for the Rangers. A lot of controversy about the defenseman. Trade rumors as well. Brad Boys chips it off the boards and out.
And with Clemenson playing well, Tim Thomas, 39 years old, he's been hurt a few times. you need to balance out the goaltending. I mean, Tim Thomas probably, if he's healthy, is going to get the majority. Scott Clemmensen has shown, though, he can come in relief and give you some good spot goaltending duty.
Yeah, no question. The confidence is there from Peter Horachek when you hear him talk about Clemmensen. Says he's a veteran. He's been there. He's done this before. Hayes carries in. Strawman knocked it away. Boyle pounded by Shore, but able to move the puck along. And now it's John Moore, the defenseman for New York, in over the Panther line. Cuts to the middle with a shot. It's blocked down. Hayes again held in by Boyle. A couple of opportunities over the last few shifts. Panthers have been able to clear it out of the zone. It hasn't cost them, though. Dylan Olsen, nice speed of the line for Shore. Leaves it for Hayes. Swings it around the board. Shore tracks it down. To give to Barch. Backhander in front. Gilbert top of the circle. Blocked away in front. Gloved down by Barch. And Boyle able to clear the red-hot Benoit Pouliot. 7-game point streak for the very streaky winger. And he throws the body of Gilbert there as the Panthers are able to clear.
For Pouliot, 7 points his last 7 games. Had 6 points his first 31 games. Former first-round draft pick. He's been on the tear.
Yeah, that streaky word certainly applies to him. All the talent, and that's why he's bounced around, keeps getting opportunity when he's hot. All is well.
He's the 4th overall pick back in 2005 for Minnesota, but he's bounced around, played for Minnesota, Montreal, Boston, Tampa Bay, and now the New York Rangers. Been on 4 teams the last 4 years.
Nice to be wanted.
It is nice to
let go. Someone else is picking you up. Right?
As long as you're still in the NHL.
That's it.
Play like this, though. You get another job. You just got to show that you can do it in spurts.
Thomas will cover up. 8:15 to go in the first. The defensive goaltending battle so far. We're scoreless.
Welcome back. No score here at the BB&T Center. I'm Drew Goldfarb. A New Year's Eve game for the Florida Panthers. It's the 7th time in franchise history the Cats have played on New Year's Eve. 2-2, 1-1. It's their all-time record on the final day of the calendar year. Last time they played on New Year's Eve was 2011 against the Montreal Canadiens. Thomas Fleischmann, 2 goals, including the game winner. Sean Matthias had the other goal in the win, guys.
All right, Drew, thanks. Remember Billy back in the day, you guys used to play that New Year's Day game at noon at the old Miami Arena.
Yes, I didn't see New Year's too much back then. Was in bed trying to get ready for the game.
Yeah, me too. Had to get to the old Miami Arena by 9:30, 9:45 to get the parking spot back in the day. Alexander Barkov through center, the feed for Bergenheim. And the play goes offside. Zuccarello got a piece of it at the blue line. Well, we've got a chance to bring the family out to see the Panthers Young Guns in action. Pick any 2 games in the month of January. Get 4 tickets for the game, parking, a post-game slap shot, and an I Love Panthers Hockey t-shirt. Packages start as low as $50 for lower level, $25 for the upper level. Great way to take in Panther games. Call 954-835-PUCK. Kreider tracks it down deep in the Panther zone, rims it around for Rick Nash. Nash tried to climb in front, couldn't do it. And Matthias is away, plays it into the Ranger zone. Ryan McDonough able to fend off 2 Panthers. McDonough going to be part of that U.S. Olympic team that'll be announced tomorrow. Here's Matthias shooting. Glove save. Lundqvist, he couldn't hold it. It dropped right in front. Strowman was there to clear it away.
That's where you have to wonder about a goaltender's confidence. Right at Lundqvist's glove, he was unable to catch it, left the rebound just sitting there.
The Panthers have 5 shots, and that shows you just got to throw pucks on them, you know. And it's amazing to say that about Henrik Lundqvist, but as you said, 8 games in a row allowing 3 or more goals?
Just does not happen. His confidence is definitely not where it normally is for a goaltender. You saw that chance by Fleischmann, though, down low. I still think Henrik Lundqvist, along with Jonathan Quick, are 2 of the game's best at covering the bottom half of the net. That flexibility with the legs. Tom Gilbert in the defense. It's tough as a defenseman now, but you have to be able to turn and go with your man. One-on-one battles, individual battles. Just a chip off the wall, and then Gilbert able to turn, stick on the ice, and then the puck batted away. That is just textbook defense against Pouliot by Tom Gilbert. Had a couple assists last game, 15 points on the year, but that is exactly how you want to play defense.
Shore won that faceoff from Dominic Moore. Barch has the pass at center knocked down. Good play by Kulikov, throwing the body and taking the puck. But Dorsett backhands out. Shore nicely back covering for Kulikov defensively. Here's Boyle. Dorsett plays it around more than gives Kulikov a shot, returning the favor from the check a few moments ago. Chris March stationed in the slot well, able to flip it out to center ice. Jimmy Hayes after it. Stahl gets there first. Here's a look at what the Panthers have done. The Rangers had 3 shots on goal very early on, and they're now just at 4. Panthers only have 5 themselves. Petrovic. Boyle cuts it off. Jimmy Hayes with a hit, but it's taken away, and Stahl finds Dorsett late in the shift for this Rangers 4th line, so they now get off in the change. Gives Dylan Olsen a little bit of room. Bergenheim weaves his way through center. The give to Barkov. Barkov hit hard. He went down. Olsen steps up. Throws it through the slot. Pouliot gets it to center. And Boyes was there to cover. You get the feeling the Rangers know this Barkov line has been this hot. Yeah, now in front of chance, and Boyes is stopped by Lundqvist. Here's Bergenheim shooting, kicked out. Barkov line buzzing a bit there, couple of chances. Rangers able to clear it away, and Campbell going to carry right back in over the line. Pouliot there with him.
This line's been red hot, and you mentioned it. They're definitely going to face the other team's top checking line and top defensive pair. The matchup for Alain Vigneault and the Rangers is good. He's going to get his top defensive pairing out there every time that Boyes Bergenheim Barkov line is on the ice.
Here comes Derek Stepan. Circles the net, puts it right in front. Now free, back to the net again. Gilbert working on it. The net went up in the air. And the puck went in the net, but it went from the other side, and that's no goal. Did I need to explain that? I don't think so. 4:22 to go. First period.
Did a good job of it.
Thank you, sir. Can always count on me. New Year's Eve, Lundqvist and Thomas. Nothing's gotten by him yet.
Timmy Tool-Time Thomas back in net for the Panthers. This is game number 400 in the career for Tim Thomas, and over 200 wins. The number's almost 500 when Thomas has been in the net. He's won the last 3 starts, giving up only 5 goals. He's a difference maker.
Here comes Huberdeau on the rush. And now Bukestad. Back for Campbell. Out in front, he was looking for Fleischmann, but Fleischmann couldn't get a piece of it. Huberdeau again, double team. Got rid of the puck, and Fleischmann tracks it down. Out in front looking for Bukestad, picked off by Zuccarello. He'll wind it around. And it gets past Campbell and Richards, and Campbell comes back to his own blue line. Huberdeau with a touch pass, scooped up by Gilbert. And Kopecky throws it over the Ranger line. Girardi now to Richards. Here comes Zuccarello. Matthias was there to take away. He sends Gotch on his way down the wing. Backhander in front, kicked out by Lundqvist. Sean Matthias, strong first period.
Strong defense. Zuccarello tried to put it between his legs. Ill-advised by Zuccarello. That turnover, that transition game for the Panthers, quick. They go the other way.
Kopecky trying to force the turnover on the forecheck. Matthias helping out as well. Gotch in there. Good work by this line. To his side, battle deep in the Ranger zone. Kreider trying to work on Matthias, who keeps moving. Kreider just all over Matthias. Puck still on the skates. Kopecky there as well, but dug free now by Girardi. Backhands around. Weaver able to hold it in. The shot blocked away in front by Kreider. And he'll throw it all the way down. Look out. Nash was offsides. He caught up to it, but was in early.
Behind the D, Rick Nash trying to get in behind the defenseman. Got to be careful. He'll look for those breakaways. Just kind of lurking in the weeds. Close, but the linesman right on top of it. Blew the whistle immediately. Rick Nash is big, but he can skate well, and if you're a defenseman like Kulikov, you have to be aware of Rick Nash trying to sneak behind you.
Shots 7-4 in favor of the Panthers. Remember, the Rangers had 3 pretty early in the game. I mean, the Panthers have been in charge. Not they're getting great scoring chances, but they've had a few. Boys, Fleischman, spending time in that Ranger zone. Bodies bang behind Lundqvist's net. Dorsett has a little space, clears to center, and Moore flips in. Boyle, cut off by Petrovic. Help from Kulikov, Petrovic again. And the Panthers able to chip it out. Here comes Hayes, has Shore with him. Kulikov trying to jump up defensively. Hayes made the safe play and got it deep. Strawman jammed up by Shore. Hayes throws the shoulder in there, but the Rangers take away. And Stahl finds Derek Stepan. Weaver is back. Stahl jumping up, trying to make something happen. Weaver cleared to center. And Brad Boyes at the line couldn't settle it down.
Panthers recently have shown the ability to wear teams down with that forechecking and zone time.
Look out, Rick Nash is in. Saved by Tim Thomas. And a big one. And the Panthers go the other way. Barkov up on the wing for Boyes. He goes cross ice. Bergenheim is there. The shot goes wide. Boyes again battling, got it to Gilbert at the point. Cross ice, Bergenheim back for Boyes. Blocked by Girardi. Great puck movement there. Look at Brad Boyes work along the wall. Boyes away with it again. Gilbert's wrister knocked down in front one more time. And Gilbert has to play it back to center. And another strong shift. And Boyes is in again. Makes a move. Goes cross ice. Bergenheim in front was looking for Barkov. It deflected. Boy, that line's been something else.
They have to be salivating on the bench every time they get there. Can't get out. Can't wait to get on the ice to play. The chemistry between those 3 players. Brad Boyes talked about it and said they know where everyone's going to be on the ice, and you can see that chemistry starting to develop.
Late in the shift, Barkov was stuck on, and he made the play and cleared for Fleischman. Cross ice feed. Kulikov gathers it in. Kulikov trying to get in front, was cut off. Rides Hagelin to the end boards as the time winds down in the first. And Hagelin will clear about as strong a defensive period as you can get. The Panthers hold the Rangers to just 5 shots on goal. Moore did hit the post. Panthers had 7 shots. But really the last 15, 16 minutes of that period, Panthers really controlled things.
That's been the Panthers' recipe for success. Tim Thomas back. Rick Nash, the speedster. Rick Nash, 1 goal his last 8 games for the Rangers, but speeds through the middle of the ice. Took it to his forehand quickly, but Tim Thomas, aggressive. Look how far out of that blue paint. Darts out with that right pillow. And then this line of Bergenheim, Barkov, and Boyes, they do most of their damage working down low in the corner. Those big bodies, Barkov and Boyes are big bodies. Win those individual battles, get that puck out in front, but that line, they've been spending almost every time they've been on the ice, they've been down in the opposition's end. I think the Panthers are wearing out teams. They haven't scored in that first period, but you play like that consistently, you can wear teams down, you can get those goals later in games.
Yeah, and Peter Horchak can't help but smile when he talks about that Barkov, Boyes, Bergenheim line. And the work along the walls and down low from all 3 of them, really outstanding.
It's a commitment. When they go out there and they just go out there with that lunch pail and hard hat and they get after it and they put pressure on the opposition. And 2, you can see they're starting to gel. They're starting to have those passes quickly off the stick because they know where the line mate is going to be on the ice.
Let's quickly get an update on what we have coming up at our first intermission tonight. Here's Drew.
All right, thanks, guys. Jam-packed Lexus Intermission Report coming up. We're going to take a look as the NHL gets set to go outside. We'll take a look at the upcoming outdoor schedule for the NHL. Plus, the Olympics are just around the corner in 2014. We'll take a look at our projections for the U.S. Olympic team and talk with a guy who is an Olympic hopeful, perhaps. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, you'd have to think Ryan McDonough of the Rangers will wind up making it. They'll announce the Olympic teams tomorrow. The Winter Classic is tomorrow at Michigan Stadium as well. And a lot of excitement going on around the NHL. The Rangers, in fact, will play a couple games outdoors at Yankee Stadium. All right, we go downstairs right now. Brad Boyes joins us. And once again, Brad, it seems like yourself and your 2 Finnish buddies, Barkov and Bergenheim, you picked up right where you left off last game. What worked well for your line in the first period?
Playing in their end. I think that's Like most offensive guys, you want to obviously play in the offensive zone, but you got to work to put them in there. I think a shift or two wasn't working. We had a couple turnovers at blue line, a couple of offsides. So when we got in there, that's when we were good, and we got to continue to do that. But we're working hard for each other. We're getting open, and we know where each other are, and I think that's huge. We're not thinking.
Brad, for yourself, you had some goals in October and November, not so much in December, but to me, seems like you're playing better in December, especially away from the puck. I know Peter Horchuk wanted that from you. How do you feel about your game right now?
Aside from not scoring, not being the goal leader in the league right now, the chances I've had are pretty good. Again, I'm getting opportunities, a lot of chances. We're moving the puck well, we're playing in their end, and we do that. It's easy to be defensive if you're not even in the D zone. So I think away from the puck, we're working hard to keep it in there. And for myself, aside from not finishing on the numerous chances I've had, I'm relatively happy with the way myself and my line mates are playing.
I'm assuming you could basically speak Finnish fluidly now at this point, right?
No, I still tell them to speak English because I don't understand it.
All right, Brad, appreciate the time. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Brad Boyes joining us there. After the first period, we are scoreless. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Plumbers 911, where emergency plumbing service is just one click away. And by Gulfstream Park, a great time is a sure thing. A New Year's Eve matchup between the Panthers and the Rangers. Both teams off wins on Sunday. The Cats beat the Canadiens 4-1. They're trying to keep the good times rolling. Couple of good chances, but the King was on his throne in the Ranger net. We're scoreless after 20.
Look outside, the BB&T Center. Scoreless after the first period here in Sunrise, Florida. Time for our breakdown in that first period. The Panthers, a lot of good things, but get pucks deep. You can just roll this just a second. Little pass, true shortstop now. Now work pucks deep. This goal line here, this is where you want to work the Rangers. You can roll it from here. Get it down deep and let the big bodies go to work. Drew Shore over to Chris Barnes. Ends up with a chance in front, but you got to get pucks deep. Work the Rangers defenseman down low. Roll this play. Thomas Fleischmann up. And now just stop here. You're going to see the pressure, but look at the elusiveness of Fleischmann to create the angle, the spin on the defenseman. He catches McDonough, gets into that foot race, turns around. You see Nash and McDonough trying to concentrate. That freed up a passing lane that just missed to Nick Bukestad.
Tonight's telecast is brought to us by the Florida Lottery. And Barkov out there against Stepan for the opening draw of the second period. Panthers-Rangers. Happy New Year to everybody out there. A lot of folks watching all over North America right now on satellite dishes. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Florida. Ryder looking to get it out of his own zone and does, but again, Kulikov stepped up, made the hit. The puck deflects up and out of play.
And for the Panthers, that first period has been problematic, so even after one, I think it's good for the Panthers. Some shots, and again, it's about that zone time for the Panthers. Brad Boyes, Bergenheim, and Barkov, they spent a lot of time down in the opposition end. Brad Boyes mentioned it in the interview, said we're having success because we're spending a lot of time down in the other team's end, and that means they're not having to play defense. And in that case, that line, their best defense has been the offense that they've been providing.
You can tell Boyes is a goal scorer. He's playing well, but he wants to put that puck in the net, and he has had some great chances. Panthers work the wall and get it up high to Campbell, but a penalty.
This is a tough one to take, an offensive zone penalty, interference. Huberdeau into the penalty box.
Florida minor penalty number 11, interference.
So down in the offensive zone, those are penalties that you don't want to take. 36 seconds into the start of the second period, Panthers will have to kill their first penalty in this Ranger power play's red hot. Number 11 to the right of your screen. No puck, he takes out Zuccarello. Not much, but it was enough.
All right, the Ranger power play has been red hot. Panthers will try to shut it down. Ace underwriting brings us the penalty kill right off the draw. They get set up. Weaver blocks a shot. The talented Brassard puts it in front. Campbell swept it out of the blue paint. McDonough. Again, Brassard pressured by Gosh. Brassard with Campbell. Work along the boards here. Campbell trying to get to it. Rangers hold it in one more time. The shot from McDonough wide, and this time Weaver gets it all 200 feet.
The New York Rangers, best power play in the league on the road, 27%. They have 8 power play goals their last 6 games. That includes 3 last game against Tampa Bay.
And you know, it's pretty simple. You score that, you put up those kind of numbers on the power play on the road. That's why they've won 9 of the last 12 on the road. And look out, Panthers couldn't get out. Brassard in front. Pouliot off the outside of the net. Pouliot's been red hot, as we told you. McDonough at the line. They give to Zuccarello. Goes cross ice, open man. Stahl moves in, back for Zuccarello. Tim Thomas comes over and makes the stop. Olsen was in front as well. Zuccarello again, cross ice feed. Drew Shore with a good stick. Here's Brad Richards, the veteran. Over to McDonough. Moves into the circle, takes a shot, it goes wide. Brassard gathers it in, pressured by Mathias. Shore gets a deflection, and the clear all the way down. Mathias had a step if they could have gotten it to him, and Mathias forces Lundqvist to cover up.
Tim Thomas has our ADT. Defensive play, and Tim Thomas outstanding. The big push, Zuccarello would start the play, and it would come back to Zuccarello. But look how quick that leg push is with that left pad. Comes over in plenty of time, gets a blocker on it. Tim Thomas looking spry at the age of 39. First game back after missing 10. And that's his best save of the night.
Looked like Zuccarello had an open cage, and that's because for a moment he did.
The big push with that left leg, that strong push, got Tim Thomas over in time.
Nash carries over the line with a shot. Thomas the save. He'll smother the rebound as the Huberdeau penalty winds down.
Panthers penalty kills in the 15 wins. Look what they've been able to do. 36 for 41. They're not taking a lot of penalties in those 15 wins, less than 3 per game, but that's about an 89% clip for the Panthers. Panthers penalty kill not very good on the year. Coming into this one, 73%, but you knock in those wins when the Panthers penalty kill goes, the Panthers win games.
Well, they do the job there. And as they always say, the best penalty killer is often your goaltender, and Thomas made the big stop on Zuccarello. Nash throws it in front. Thomas trying to find it, and he does. And then it's poked after the whistle, and the net dislodged as well. Things getting a little heated there. Big scramble in front. Panthers are back home Saturday night, January 4th against Nashville. For every ticket purchase, a $5 donation will go to the Special Olympics Florida. Call 954-835-PUCK.
Good penalty kill to get through right at the start. Huberdeau did not take a good penalty there in the offensive zone. You don't like those penalties, especially as a coach, especially against a red-hot Ranger power play, but they able to get that penalty kill and dodge that bullet.
Tim Thomas talking to the officials about that scramble in front. I don't like anybody getting in his work area. Off the draw, Boyle. Shot was deflected by Dylan Olsen, and then Olsen throws the shoulder. Olsen had 3 blocked shots and 3 hits in the opening period. Trying to work over Dorsett. Rangers again spending time in the offensive zone here. Barch with the block. Tried to clear but couldn't. Strallman over to Stahl. And the wrist shot hit his own man. Dominic Moore was down on the ice. The puck caught his body, but Moore able to work along the boards. Dorsett checked by Petrovic. Shore bangs Moore. And finally Olsen up the wall, but not out again. Fourth line for the Rangers. Finally, Drew Shore able to stick a fork in it and lift it down the ice. Barch, and they're going to get Barch for a penalty here. Try to climb around Strallman in the second straight offensive zone penalty in the opening minutes of the second period. Yikes.
You get in trouble when you take that hand off your stick. Fans not happy about it. 2 offensive zone penalties for the Panthers. These are tough penalties to kill Chris Barch. That free hand, he takes his hand off the stick, and as soon as you wrap up the defenseman, Girardi, you're going to get that call almost every single time. Or actually, it's Strallman, sorry, not Girardi, but Strallman. Reach out with that free hand and grab him. He'll get that call almost every time.
Great look with the camera there. So again, the Rangers in the power play winning the draw. They came close the first time. You're playing with fire here. Richards for McDonough. Cross ice has Zuccarello with the shot. Puck bouncing behind the net. Brassard up high for Zuccarello. Over to Richards under pressure. Zuccarello chips it down the wall. Weaver able to gather it in and lift it all the way down. Rangers had 5 shots the first period. They've got 5 in the opening 4 minutes plus in the second. And look at McDonough carry the mail. Scooped up by Pouliot. Over to McDonough. Weaver went down and got a piece of the puck. Zuccarello in front. Over to McDonough. Holding and shooting, and a shoulder save by Tim Thomas. Thomas up big again there. And Mike Weaver clears it all the way down. Oh, Tim Thomas is back with a vengeance.
Like Tim Thomas and his ability to stand tall, able to get a shoulder on it. Tim Thomas picking up right where he left off. Came into this one, his last 3 games he had played, and won 3 in a row. It's been lights out here to start the second.
We've seen some of the reason why. It's Ryan McDonough, in all likelihood, a lock for that U.S. Olympic team.
He's good. Back on that back end. Good find for the New York Rangers. Yes, good slick move, but Tim Thomas able to deny him.
Stepan is in, plays it to Nash, and now Girardi with a lane. Thomas the save and the rebound set wide by Stepan. Moore up at the line. Nash again. Nash shoots, blocked by Dylan Olsen. Races on, Bergenheim trying to track it down, pushes it into the Ranger zone. 15 to go on the Barch penalty. Girardi moving out of his own end with one last rush on the power play. Stepan with speed. Throws it over to the wing for Nash. Cross ice, Girardi with the shot. Blocked away in front. Power play is over. John Moore at the blue line. Stolen by Brad Boyes.
New York Rangers took a penalty.
In behind the play, and boy, it was just before Boyes was off to the races. It was a 3-on-2, so after a fairly uneventful opening period, things have really picked up. Third penalty in the second.
And both teams taking bad penalties. Panthers take 2 bad offensive zone penalties. Same thing with Chris Kreider. Number 43 in the front, 21, Chris Kreider, and or 20, the cross check right in the back. That's just unnecessary by Kreider. Stepan and Kreider were both in front. Kreider just cross-checked Weaver right in the back, undisciplined. And now the Panthers, after 2 big penalty kills, get their second chance on the power play.
That was a tough break because it was about simultaneous when Boyes had that puck. Here's Fleischmann firing, kick saved by Lundqvist. Right off the draw, Campbell set up a Fleischmann bullet. Hagelin with that speed, but Fleischmann met him at the line. And now Bergenheim up ahead for Boyes. Back for Bergenheim, he lets it go through to Campbell. Thomas Fleischmann. Campbell chips it over to Bergenheim. Panthers looking for some space, trying for the game's first goal. They just killed 2 penalties in a row. Campbell in front, Fleischmann. He didn't get all of it. Ryan Campbell, back-to-back games with points over the weekend. Bergenheim double team, sets up Boyes. Pad save by Lundqvist. It's got to break for Brad Boyes at some point. All kinds of chances. Fleischmann down. Boyes at the end boards. Plays it around. Barkov steps in on Hagelin. And Boyes finds Fleischmann. Couldn't get it to the forehand cleanly and then lost the puck.
Seeing these Panthers' chances, too, against Lundqvist, they've been down low. The Fleischmann blast, and I think Tim Thomas is better up high. The opposite for Lundqvist, really good down low. Panthers have to try and find a way to get these shots elevated against Lundqvist.
You get an offsides call here. Boy, Brad Boyes. All kinds of opportunities. He's put himself in good position.
He's got to have some frustration. Henrik Lundqvist, it's been a struggle, but both this goal, we knew it'd be a dynamic goaltending battle going in, and it has not disappointed. Both goaltenders have had their moments.
Bjugstad with Huberdeau and Kopecky on the ice now. Kulikov and Gilbert. Panthers couldn't break in cleanly. Panthers have had some good opportunities, especially moving that puck across ice once they get set up. Finding openings. Kulikov on the dump in. Kopecky there first. But couldn't get it to Bjugstad cleanly. Dominic Moore under pressure. Bjugstad trying to work it free. Kulikov stepped up, got a stick on it, but it still carried out. Ryder penalty winding down. Bjugstad for Huberdeau. And on the wing, Kopecky. Back again, Huberdeau. Centering feed off the skate of Gilbert. Power play is ending. Here's a chance. Kopecky, sharp angle, throws it in front. Free puck chipped out. Kreider is back. Bearing down on Kulikov, who hammers it to center, and Gotch able to glove it down. And Gotch fights through 2 checks. And Gotch again with the puck. Matthias just couldn't quite get there. Here comes JT Miller, 3-on-2 the other way. Hagelin in the slot, shooting, saved by Thomas. The speedy Hagelin after it again. Miller behind the Panther net. Net by Weaver. Shoved by Weaver. Gotch with the check. And the Panthers able to work it free momentarily, then Miller steals. Gotch has it now. Goes off the glass. Matthias charging Stahl. He unloads the center ice. Taken there by Gotch. He got hit hard by Miller. It's picked up here in the second. Campbell got it out to center, but couldn't get it to a lead man. And Zuccarello flips the puck over the Panther line. Brassard tracks it down. The drop pass, the shot by Moore deflected wide. Richards has it, sets up Zuccarello, blocked away. Campbell over to Bergenheim. And he chips in, never got the red line. Yes, he did, so no icing on that one. Barkov with a steal, sets up Boys, and there it is! Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Nice. It breaks for Brad Boys. His second goal last 18 games. This first goal looms large. Brad Boys able to get it for the Panthers. Turnovers, Girardi back to get the puck. Look at the forecheck pressure by Barkov, the good read. Samuel Morse could not have telegraphed that pass better as Girardi put it right on the stick of Barkov. And then in between the legs, Barkov quickly to Boys. 1-0 Panthers. What a play. Goal number 10. Perfect read, Barkov. He just took Dan Girardi to school, did Barkov.
Seems to make the right play. I don't want to say 100% of the time, so we'll go with 99. Remarkable. And Barkov now with 9 points in his last 10 games. And the Panthers get the first one. They knew it was going to break for Boys at some point. Fleischmann over to play the puck, hounded by Stahl. Nice play by Gilbert, back for Fleischmann, and then up the wall. Bjugstad able to chip it down the ice. Bjugstad knocks it down. Huberdeau is still in the zone, so he held up at the line. You can tell by the reaction, too, from Boys. It was like, okay, it's about time. I got one.
It is about time. Brad Boys has been just playing some sensational hockey all the way around. What a play by Barkov, and not a really good play by Dan Girardi, but how many turnovers have the Panthers created against the opposition by hustling and getting in on the forecheck?
And remember, Boys was picked up, you know, a late addition during training camp, and is on pace for 20.
Watch where Barkov comes. Look how much ground he covers on Girardi, and the telegraph pass by Girardi. I mean, read him like a book, did Barkov, and picked that pass and quickly in front. Is Alexander Barkov. I am so excited to watch this guy play over the years. He's been amazing.
18 years old. It's remarkable. They said he was NHL ready, but it is amazing.
And he's more than NHL ready.
Kopecky with a steal. Dominic Moore. Matthias got a piece of it, then cleared to center. Petrovic is there at the red line. Couldn't control, though, and look out. Moore is in. Takes a shot that rises high above Tim Thomas's net. Thomas saves when the Panthers were shorthanded earlier in the period. Certainly loom large. Rangers work the forecheck, and Moore with the puck. Petrovic works him over. Matthias there to take away. And now to Dylan Olsen, who has some room. Olsen, lead pass just out of the reach of Matthias, so that's an icing on the Panthers. This line will have to stay out there.
Both these goaltenders playing good. Peter Horacek gets the first goal to go the Panthers' way. This first goal loomed large. The Rangers are 16-2-1. When they get the first goal of the game, only 3-17-1 when they give up the first goal. And this game was going to be played tight. Both these goaltenders have been exceptional to start. So that first goal for the Panthers by Brad Boys is a big one.
guys like Boys, Gilbert, Tim Thomas, remember, those were all late pickups. You know, once this summer's free agency went by the boards, all on one-year contracts, and they played well.
Timely penalty kills. Start of the second period, you took 2 bad penalties, could have cost your team. Gotten a lot of trouble, but your penalty killing able to come through. Tim Thomas, during that penalty kill, made a couple of remarkable saves. Go back to those saves for Tim Thomas to keep it 0-0 and then back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Brassard breaks in. Thomas with a glove save. And he'll hold it. And now the pushing and the shoving in front. Alex Petrovic is always a willing customer, I can tell you that. 8:38 to go, second period. Panthers trying for a New Year's win. Brad Boys breaks the slump with the lead. Big minutes again for Brian Campbell tonight. The Panthers get the goal from Brad Boys, and Barkov set it up. Latest installment of Inside the Panthers. There's the schedule here on Fox Sports Florida. You can watch it after Saturday's telecast. That's the next Panther game, Saturday night here at home against the Nashville Predators. Alexander Barkov with the assist. Tim Thomas made a couple of big saves on the penalty kill. He's got 14 in the game. So far, so good for the Panthers. Lead pass, Bergenheim bearing down on it, and Lundqvist forced to jump out and cover.
That line, Bergenheim on the board again for the Panthers. Night in and night out. Now 9 points in 10 games for Alexander Barkov. That's that assist tonight. 19 points on the year. Gotta think his second half's going to be a lot better offensively than his first half, if it's any indication this last stretch he's put together.
Yeah, that's the remarkable thing. I mean, about half those points have come in the last few weeks. Remarkable. Face-off win there, for sure. Kulikov, cross-ice Barch. Back for Weaver at the line. Cranks one up, knocked down in front. Big Jimmy Hayes, all 6 of them, was right in front of Lundqvist's net. And this puck goes into the bench. It caught the glass, so we get the whistle. The Fan Express package is available for groups of up to 55 fans, bus transportation to and from a Panther game, and a whole lot more along with it. So call 954-835-7711. A great way to check out a Panthers game here at the BB&T Center. Barkov back out for the offensive zone draw against Dominic Moore. Free at the dot. Allen winds it around. Dylan Olsen bearing down, throws the body at Boyle, allows Boyes to step into a shot that Lundqvist stops. Dylan Olsen with a smart pinch there. Stahl flips the center. Here's Olsen again, carrying it in, giving it to Boyes. Cross-ice feed, Bergenheim with the backhand, trickles on goal, saved by Lundqvist. And then Dylan Olsen shoves down Moore. They're going to get him for a penalty. Tough call there. But the third offensive zone penalty of the period for the Panthers. And the Rangers are back on the power play.
Ouch. Dylan Olsen had a nice play to start that play, but ends up taking the penalty.
Florida minor penalty number 4, 2-inch cross-checking.
Dylan Olsen started that. He got a little cross-check in the back to start it, and then takes a little shot at Dominic Moore. I think those were 2 shots against each other. I would let that go. Dominic Moore had a cross-check against Olsen initially. They let that go, and the retaliation by Olsen is the one that got caught.
And the Rangers off the draw. Richard's shot saved by Thomas. Third power play already in the period for the Rangers. Weaver tries to find it, but Pouliot plays it around for Ryan McDonough. Here's Richards up high. McDonough goes cross-ice. Zuccarello knocks it down. McDonough. Pressured by Kopecky. Knocked free. Gotch there as well. So is Kulikov, and the Panthers do get it out of the zone. Zuccarello protecting that puck, then gave it away to Kopecky, but Pouliot blocked the clearing attempt. Brassard up high for McDonough, now to Richards. His shot right on, save. Tim Thomas again, and the Panthers able to clear it out.
Little help from Weaver against Zuccarello on that back door. make the initial save. The Panthers on the power plays too. Thomas has made some saves, but the rebounds have been there. But the defensemen for the Panthers have been able to eliminate the sticks of the Rangers. No second chances for the Rangers. That's important.
Shore out battles McDonough to get the clear. Big by Drew Shore. Shore was recalled. Scotty Upshaw went down with injury. Rick Nash flies in, takes a shot, Thomas the save. Chipped out in front, free puck, and then it rolls in the crease, and Thomas will smother it.
Tim Thomas starting to steal the show. The initial save, though, make one save, and then the defenseman, look at the 4 Panthers in your screen now. 4 Panthers in your screen to eliminate any second chance the Rangers might be thinking about. Tracking the puck well, seeing it well. That went through Campbell's legs. Tough to pick up for a goaltender. Tim Thomas able to get a piece of it with the blocker.
Thomas did not play in the NHL last year. Tonight is 400th NHL game. Nash controls. Half a minute left on the Olsen penalty. Kreider. Up high, Girardi. Wound up, didn't shoot. Girardi again, this time does shoot. Thomas out to make the save. And then Nash falls down on him.
Controlling his rebounds, Tim Thomas fighting his way through traffic. Is he a competitor in the net? Look at him look around. Tim Thomas trying to fight, and Rick Nash, that big body, but because he's out close to Rick Nash and he's got a good feel where that puck's going to go. Not a lot he can do there, but make himself look big. There's no way Tim Thomas can see that puck, but he's battling his way through traffic. Not only does he make the save, he's able to control the rebound.
Rangers control the faceoff. Girardi shoots, blocked in front by Weaver. Looked like Stepan may get a chance, but the puck rolled away from him. Kulikov with the clear. 4 shots on this power play for the Rangers. Their 3 power plays, they've been almost exclusively in the Panther zone. Thomas has been huge. And the Panthers remain on top by a goal. And we're 5-on-5. Stepan cuts off the cross-ice pass. Stepan over the line with a shot wide. Puck sitting behind the Panther net. Now it's Bjugstad. Gets away from Kreider. Bjugstad up the middle. Gets the red line. And the shoot-in. Strawman. Here comes JT Miller. Campbell with a beat on him as Miller shoots in. Huberdeau back to the end boards with Miller. Pouliot is there as well. Puck free in the corner. Hagelin hustles over, slashes the stick out of Gilbert's hands. They let it go, and then Stahl shoots, taken away by Huberdeau. Bjugstad up to center. Gives it back, and then Fleischmann on the tip-in. Less than 5 now to go here in the second period. Tooth and nail. Shots 17-12. Most of those Rangers shots have been on those power plays. Steal here by Boyes. But it deflects off the body of Miller. He and Kulikov bang, and then Miller makes the play. Sending Hagelin in. Hagelin for Pouliot. Oh, what a back check there. Alexander Barkov. Backhander in front. Save Thomas. Kicks free to Allen. McDonough at the point. Throws it off the end boards. And finally, Brad Boyes able to take away. Alexander Barkov set up the Panther goal earlier in the period. He made a saved one right there defensively.
The ability to play both ends of the rink.
And Boyes and Bergenheim working down low. Gilbert with the step up. Barkov holds it in. Goes for Campbell. Creeping in. And the wrister. Lundqvist with the save. Gilbert over to Campbell again. Gilbert at the line. Campbell one more time. Campbell makes a move. Circles back. Some tired Rangers on the ice. Brian Campbell up high. Gilbert along the boards. The battling going on in front. Here's Gilbert again. On the backhand. Gives back for Campbell one more time. Panthers controlling this puck. And Tom Gilbert shoots. Saved by Lundqvist. Boyes to the rebound. The backhander came wide. Bergenheim for Campbell again. Campbell with the spin move. Panthers all over the Rangers. It's Bergenheim cranking it up, blocked away. Marcel Gotch as the Panthers got a partial change with his puck in the Ranger zone. Gotch channed up by Hagelin, and he's able to finally clear.
That shift all started with a magnificent defensive play by Barkov.
Kopetsky trying to track it down. Stipped away by Lundqvist.
After that defensive play, they break it up, go the other way, spend about 45 seconds down at the other end.
Gilbert and Campbell up high, just controlling the puck. Kopetsky trying to walk off the board, sticked away.
I was getting dizzy watching Campbell spin around up here.
Imagine how he felt.
The Rangers were just spinning themselves into the ground, trying to chase him around. He's got some elusiveness.
Lundqvist made that one save on the good chance from Bergenheim. Keeping it 1-0. Kopetsky chips in. Lundqvist out of his net, steers it away from Kopetsky. Goes off on a change. Rangers try to break through the middle. There's another defensive play. Thomas Fleischmann allows Huberdeau to break in. Huberdeau for Fleischmann. Sticked away by Girardi. Kreider try to carry out. Stolen by Huberdeau at center. Feeds who else? Brian Campbell's back on the ice. Goes cross ice and hits Stahl in the leg. Now Bukestad on the doorstep. Saved by Lundqvist. Bukestad's got it again for the Panthers. Checked by Stahl. Bukestad stays on his skates. Kreider funnels it out for Stepan. Gets the red line and shoots in.
One of those games got to work for every inch of ice.
Campbell and Brad Boyes chips it into the Ranger zone. Strawman flips it back the other way. Not far enough for icing. Clock rolls at 1:15 to go in the second. Only goal came midway through this period from Brad Boyes. Bergenheim getting over the line. Offside's the call on the Panthers. We finally get a whistle and a timeout. Brian Campbell, take a break.
Panthers lead on Brad Boyes, 10th goal of the season. It was assisted by Alexander Barkov, but Alexander Barkov able to take away a goal from the Rangers. Our red line energy rush. Number 16 in the middle of your screen. It's a 2-on-1. Look at the hustle by Barkov and that long reach again. Able to get back against Pouliot to break up the play. Weaver went over to his man. He knew that he had that coverage, and that was the big back check from Barkov to break that play up. That long reach.
He's unreal. It's remarkable. Panther job now, Billy, to get out of this period unscathed. Barkov back defensively for Weaver, and Boyes try to chip it up off the wall. Nash blocked it down, and Kreider's got the puck. It remains in the Panther zone, but Boyes keeps on battling, and Brad Boyes able to clear. McDonough gave it away to Barkov. Sets up Boyes in front on the backhand. It chips over the net. Here's Bergenheim. Holding and shooting high. Kulikov holds it in. It's Barkov again. Barkov's shot hit the outside of the net. Bergenheim trying to knock it off the net, and he does. Finally, McDonough for the Rangers. Clears to center. Marcel Gotts looking for one more rush. Fleischmann on the shoot-in. Panthers get one in the second by Lundqvist. And Florida has the lead going to the third.
We built it as a goaltending battle when we came into this game, and it's been exactly that. Lundqvist has been sharp. Tim Thomas, his first game back since December 10th, has been huge in the net for the Florida Panthers. And that lineup, Barkov, Boyes, and Bergenheim, gets the Panthers on the board, and Alexander Barkov with some outstanding work there in that second period.
A guy that's only slightly older than Barkov. Here's Drew. What's going on, my friend?
Just by a year or two, actually. We got a lot coming up here on the Honda Intermission Report. We're going to take a look at another one of our great features going back over the 20 years of Florida Panthers hockey history. Plus, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for this year's Florida Panthers as the calendar rolls over to 2014. That plus everyone's favorite segment, everyone say it with me, Billy's Breakdown. That and more coming up during the Honda Intermission Report. Guys?
I missed my cue. I'm sorry on Billy's Breakdown. Billy, besides those power play chances, and the Rangers had 3 of them, Panthers need to be careful. But, again, you talked about this before the game, 5-on-5 even strength hockey. Panthers were outstanding.
They were. And for the Panthers, too, they create a lot of turnovers. What they're doing better under Horacek is moving their feet, getting in on the offense. And you saw that from Barkov. You saw how much ground he covered. But if you're lazy on that play, you don't get in there. You're not seeing those lazy plays on the forecheck. They're moving their feet, putting pressure on the defenseman, and creating turnovers. Girardi put it right on the stick of Barkov, and Boyes gets that goal. So that forechecking pressure has caused problems for the opposition.
Panthers carry a 1-0 lead into the third period. We head downstairs. Drew Shore joins us now. And Drew, how's it been, and what's been the biggest difference being back in the NHL over the past few games for you?
I mean, obviously the pace is a little bit different. It's a little bit faster. Guys are stronger, but all the guys on our team have made it easy for me, and I'm just going out there and trying to do my best.
Some time with Horachek down in San Antonio. How has it helped your transition coming up here to the Panthers, having had that experience with the head coach, Peter Horachek?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I was only down there with him for about a week, but obviously he's a very positive guy, and I think he's really helped the turnaround here, and obviously the guys are really buying into what he's saying, and it's been fun so far.
Their line with Dominic Moore, and really as a team, a group of forwards, Drew, they're hard on the forecheck, work hard in the offensive zone along those boards. What's the game plan here going into the third, knowing you're up a goal?
Like you said, I think they got a lot of skilled forwards, so I think the best way to handle that is just to make them defend. We want to spend as much time as we can with the puck below the tops of their circles, and I think if we do that and get it on net, we'll be successful.
All right, Shore, good to have you back in a Panther jersey. Thanks for the time.
Yep, thanks. It's great to be back.
Drew Shore joining us in the second intermission where the Panthers have the lead on Tim Thomas's goaltending and Brad Boy's goal. It's 1-0. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Ford, powered by South Florida Ford. By Redline, the ultimate energy rush, available at Vitamin Shop. And by Service America, worried about air conditioning, appliance, or plumbing repair costs? Get covered. Go to serviceamerica.com. Happy New Year. And New York is in South Florida. But Tim Thomas has slammed that door. Things getting a little nasty. Brad Boy's the only goal set up by the teenager. 1-0 Florida after 2. Big third period coming up. Panthers trying to make it 2 in a row here at home. A 1-0 lead against the Rangers. We often talk to Coach Peter Horachek. He talks about being comfortable playing in one-goal games. What have you seen lately, and what do you expect to see in the third period?
Belief. They've been able to close out games, a lot more confidence in one-goal games. The Panthers a perfect 7-0-0 when they lead after 2 periods. Only one other team is unbeaten when they lead after 2. That's the Los Angeles Kings. This is a big one to end 2013.
This is a big one to end 2013. You see the tear in my eye? The final Billy's breakdown? Could it actually be? All right, let's get to it. Second period. You're all emotional.
It is emotional. Good back check. Stop here. Look at the coverage that you have. That allows Fleischmann to put pressure. The D are going to have their men. But Fleischmann in the middle against Kreider creates the turnover, and then the Panthers go the other way. That's how Panthers create a lot of chances, but that's just strong defense. This is the goal by the Panthers. Good defensive hockey in their own zone. The shot, they're able to block the puck. And then the transition again. Good defense turns into offense. Bergenheim battles to get to the red line. And then you can stop here. Look at the ground that Barkov's able to cover. Look at the stride length. The long strides, stick on the ice, able to pick that puck off. Right off the stick of Girardi, right in the front to Brad Boyes. Have themselves a goals, and the Panthers have a 1-0 lead.
And tonight's Panthers telecast on Fox Sports Florida is presented by the Florida Lottery. Tim Thomas, those big saves when the Rangers had their power play chances. 3 of them in that second period. Panthers want to stay out of the box. Goes without saying here in the third. McDonough trying to hold it in. Boyes takes away. Alexander Barkov up to center. Barkov now 9 points in his last 10 games after the assist tonight. Shots are 18-15 in favor of the Rangers. Big goaltending matchup here tonight. That's what we expected, and that's what we're getting. Bjugstad turns to center. On his knees, able to clear the puck as he was chopped down by Brassard. Weaver paired up with Kulikov on defense. We're back with you Saturday night when the Nashville Predators come into town. Panthers here get nailed for an icing call.
Dylan Olsen, 9 points in 16 games. Coming over to that Chris Versteeg trade. 9:25 on the ice. He has littered the score sheet. 6 hits, 5 blocked shots. Had 7 hits a couple of games ago. Putting up offensive numbers, but big. Been a physical force tonight blocking those shots. Dylan Olsen proven that he has an all-around game.
Fleischman ahead, just out of the reach of Huberdeau, but Bukestad jumps up. Bukestad's got it, carrying in, then sticked away by Allen. Bukestad stays with it along the boards. Kulikov came up as well to help out, but it's pushed out of the zone. Kulikov able to shoot back in, and the Bukestad line will get off. Gotch, Kopecky, Matthias back on now for Florida. Brian Campbell again logging the big minutes. Has been outstanding of late. Matthias. Gotch on the wing. End boards. Matthias jams up with Strawman. JT Miller able to work it free, and Hagelin. But the lead pass. Good defensive play by Kopecky to get a piece of it. Now the Rangers break in. Miller gets to the forehand, throws it through the slot. Hagelin tackles Gilbert. Play rolls on. Miller backhands to the point man Moore. Hagelin again with Gilbert. Hagelin emerges with the puck. Hagelin on the backhand near the blue line. Hands it over to Strawman. Under pressure from Matthias. Strawman with the spin move. Back up high. And now Moore has an opening. Fires. Blocked away and hit his own man Pouliot in front. Ooh, and Kopecky could have had a break, but the puck eluded him, and it's an icing on the Panthers.
Rangers able to enter the zone, but you're able to eliminate 2-on-2, but to the right of your screen, Marcel Gotch, 57. There he comes into your screen, picked up his man, Pouliot. They had no options. That's the communication. Two defensemen in the middle. They knew that they had Gotch on the other side, able to pick up Pouliot. 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And the Rangers come in the zone, but they had some. But it was all eliminated because every single Panther had their player.
Panthers have been on a good run. 8 of their last 12 they've won in this month. In fact, they win this game tonight, it would be the best December in Panther history. With 18 points, Campbell with a good shoulder on Stepan there. Amazing when you look at it. The Panthers won 7 total games in October and November. They've already won 8 here in December. Still a long way to go in this one, up by a goal. This is Barkov with speed over the line to give to Boyes. Boyes holds and shoots. It goes high over the net. It's in Kreider's uniform there. Kulikov got a stick on the puck. Girardi goes off the glass.
Sorry, goalie. How about that pretty little breakout? That deft little redirection out of the zone with speed.
When they get going, and Brad Boyes, he told us at the first intermission, it's at the point now where these three, they know where each other are on the ice. And I would imagine, Billy, that just makes the world of difference.
When you have that chemistry, yes, you don't got to call for passes as much. Brad Boyes not speaking Finnish probably doesn't help matters. But you can tell that they know where every player is going to be, and those passes are on the tape.
Boyes has to keep telling them. English, fellas. I got to know what's going on here. It's working. Whatever they're doing, Boyes, Bergenheim, and Barkov, they produced the goal again. They only won the night.
That's the Tikkanen, remember him?
He has his own language?
Yeah, he could barely speak English, and they said he speaks the same in Finnish. They called it Tikkanese.
Good knee there by Jimmy Hayes. Fine Dorchester mass guy. Hayes doesn't speak any of that stuff you're talking about, but it's an icing call on the Panthers. 4 minutes into the third. There's Hayes and Dorsett chatting.
The breakout on the wall. Bergenheim and good support. Look where Barkov is for support. Down low again and starts that play. That play, just a nice little play. Boyes with that toe drag at the end of it. Winger's doing the job on the wall, Bergenheim, but he can't make that play if he doesn't have the support down low from Barkov. Came in perfect support position. The good plays Barkov makes shift after shift after shift.
Fun to watch. Shore and Richards jammed up in the circle. Panthers, though, had a chance, unable to clear. Campbell's got to go behind his own net. Brassard takes the puck. Campbell again. And Barch got it to the line. And then the help from Hayes to clear the zone. Panthers will grab a change here, but look out, Rangers trying to catch him. John Moore speeds in, takes a shot. Thomas will hold it in the glove. Well, Billy Joel is coming to the BB&T Center for 2 appearances, Tuesday, January 7th, and that second show added on Saturday, January 11th. Tickets still available at Ticketmaster.com. Tim Thomas, 19 saves in the game here tonight. His first game in 3 weeks. He was out with a lower body injury. He was riding before he got hurt a 3-game winning streak. He only allowed 5 goals in those 3 games. Here's a chance for Nash. It rang off the post, far side. Rick Nash unloaded in a hurry.
You love Tim Thomas, though, that he comes out quickly. Rick Nash.
Turnover. Bukestad tried to get it in front, knocked away.
Got that shot quickly. Tim Thomas come out to meet him. Cut down the angle.
Huberdeau for Weaver. The shot deflected on goal by Bukestad as he went down. Saved by Lundqvist. Nash again. Speeding in. Nash controlling. Finally, Bukestad takes away. Here comes Bukestad to center. Late in a shift. Bukestad holds up at the line. Throws it towards the net. Pretty smart play there by Bukestad. Campbell. Bouncing puck in front of the Ranger net. Mark Stahl back in the lineup for New York after missing 10 games with a concussion. Boy, the last couple of years for Stahl looked like he may break out and be a star defenseman. 2 concussions, that bad eye injury.
He was one that was having some talks about being on the Canadian Olympic team. I don't think that's going to happen because of the injury problems, but he was a highly thought of defenseman.
Big hit behind the play. JT Miller on Gilbert as he shot in.
Panthers here have to continue to press. 1 goal. You got to play smart, but you got to continue to press and push and look for another goal. You can't sit back against the Rangers.
Kopetsky for Matthias. Matthias avoided a big hit at the line. Mark Stahl with the puck. The Barkov line back on now for the Panthers. Boys on the forecheck. Forces the turnover. Bergenheim gathers it in. Pass eluded Boys, though. And the clear all the way down. Bouncing puck. Kulikov cuts it off and throws it ahead of the line for Barkov. The little chip. Bergenheim rolls off the stick. In behind the net, Bergenheim and Moore. Those two were line mates a few years ago. Remember when the Lightning made that big run in the playoffs? They know each other well. Dorsett. Dylan Olsen met him solidly. And Barkov defensively able to clear it out. Will it carry far enough for icing? No. Good clear by Barkov. Panthers quickly try to get this change. Olsen at his own blue line. Gets tripped up by Moore. March try to push it further along. And now Girardi in his own zone.
For the Panthers, we're not seeing that fluff at the offensive lines. It's straight lines. North-south, they're just dumping the puck, putting it in. You're not seeing them crisscross at the blue line and turn pucks over. That was a big problem earlier in the year. Now they're using that speed. They can skate well. They're using it to their advantage. Just put pucks off the wall, chip to speed, and get after it. That forces the defenseman to turn. The defensemen hate that. Going back, turning for pucks, and just getting pounded into the glass.
There an icing call on the Panthers. 7.5 gone by here in the third.
The face-offs continue. Got your 4th line out now. On this draw, you're going to look for a change as the Rangers come out with their number 1 line. So Panthers, a little bit of a mismatch. Try and win this face-off after the icing and get a line change.
22-year-old Drew Shore against the veteran Brad Richards. Richards pulled it back, but it came through Stahl into center. Panthers able to get the partial change. Now they complete it in the Bukestad line on the ice for Florida. Only goal of the game, Barkov to Boys in the second. Bukestad gets high stick. That one caught him right in the face.
They got it.
That looks bad.
That's 4 minutes.
A lot of blood, too. Hope he's okay. I think he got under the visor.
A lot of blood coming down from Bukestad, and yes, hopefully he's okay. Got it up high. Nick Bukestad getting looked at by Dave Zanobi. He gets clipped up high by Brad Richards. We'll be back. Second period goal by Brad Boyce, holding up for the Panthers. Brad Richards in the penalty box, high sticking against Nick Bukestad, coming back, and this was up high hard against Bukestad. A lot of blood. Catches him, looks like right in the nose. Bukestad went down, went to the dressing room. Hopefully he's okay. That nose is going to look like a blind carpenter's thumb for a couple days up high, but I think as long as he doesn't have any structural damage or a concussion, broken nose, you should be able to return from those things. But Bukestad's been a Big player for the Panthers. Panthers get 4 minutes on the power play.
That's a huge opportunity now for the Panthers with the double minor to Richards. Rangers force the puck out to the neutral zone. Girardi fishes it out of the skates. And McDonough all the way down. We talked about the special teams. Got to win the battle. The penalty killing led by Tim Thomas has been outstanding tonight. Now the big power play opportunities. Here's Boyes after the puck, written off by McDonough. Boyes back on it, though, and gets it up to the point. Thomas Fleischmann over to Campbell. Fleischmann, one-timer wide. Bergenheim chips it off the outside of the net. Bergenheim was there for the rebound of that dirty area. Rangers grab a change. Panthers do as well. Huberdeau with Kopetsky and Gotch. Without the services of Bjugstad, who got high stick. Huberdeau gives to Kopetsky. Puts it in behind Lundqvist's net. Rangers are there first to spin it around the boards. Campbell holds it in. Jonathan Huberdeau in front. Just away from Kopetsky, who was all alone.
This Panthers power play, though, is coming close. They're starting to get a lot more zone time, a lot more shots, a lot more looks at the goaltenders.
Huberdeau with a great look. Got rid of it quickly, but just missed Kopetsky's stick. Kopetsky. Checked by Stahl. Huberdeau jumps in, but Zuccarello has an opening. Look out, Kulikov with Stepan. Now it's Kulikov with 15 seconds left in the first of the double minor to Richards. There's the shoot in, Boyes after it. That line right back out for Florida. Girardi behind his own net with the puck. Finds McDonough on the backhand.
First liner gone.
Fourth power play of the day right here for the Panthers. Couldn't penetrate the zone. Look out, the speedy Hagelin goes to the net. Boyle feeds him. Saved by Thomas. I believe Hagelin got a little piece of it. Panthers break the other way. Led by Brad Boyes. Lundqvist behind his own net. Plays it around, cut off by Barkov, but then cleared away. Fleischmann in his own end. Huberdeau is back on, along with Kopetsky and Gotch. Kopetsky, double team. Nice play to get it to Fleischmann. In front, the shot saved by Lundqvist.
Rangers defenseman left the front of the net wide open, and then Fleischmann there was smart. No big slap shot. Knew we had Marcel Gotch in front of the net. Quick wrist shot. Lundqvist able to make the save.
Panthers couldn't get through center that time. Campbell has to retract.
Love to put a dagger in the Rangers right now. 55 seconds remaining on the double minor to Richards.
Nice move by Gotch. Gets around Zuccarello. Gives to Kopetsky on the backhand. Kopetsky shifts down low. Plays it around the boards. Kulikov is there with a spin move. Kulikov shoots high over the net. Kulikov able to track it down. Campbell. Kulikov couldn't control. Half a minute to go on the Richards penalty. Rangers penalty killing, doing a big job here. Campbell gets past Hagelin, but couldn't get by Boyle. Now you wonder what kind of lift, if they're able to kill this off, it gives the Rangers. Panthers going to get called for icing on the man advantage.
Big opportunity wasted for the Rangers. Had a couple chances on that power play. 9 seconds. Looks like we're going to kill this penalty. The Rangers against Brad Richards. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Crowd giving an ovation tonight as they show on the big screen. Tim Thomas playing in game number 400. It's been a good one for him.
Off the faceoff. Richards ready to come out of the box. Panthers break out. Boyes over the line. And the linesman yelling even, meaning even strength. We're 5-on-5 now. Weaver hustling back. Brassard is with him, but Weaver with a good play to get the puck to Boyes. Oh boy, the pass up the middle. Nash got a piece of it, but Boyes able to give ahead for Barkov. Now Bergenheim trying to get a step on Stroman. Save, rebound Bergenheim. Stopped by Lundqvist again. Bergenheim strong to the cage. The Panthers continue to lead by a goal in the third. Happy New Year, everybody. The Panthers trying to ring in the new year with a win. We got a great finish coming up. 1-0 now. What will that penalty kill do for the Rangers, and what do the Panthers need to do moving forward?
Gives the Rangers some life. They're back into it. They give up a goal there, they're dead in the water. So important penalty kill for the Rangers to get through. Panthers okay, though. Settle things down. Panthers good lately in one-goal games. You would have loved to have gotten the goal there against the Rangers, though that might have sunk the Rangers' ship.
And the penalty is the high stick on Nick Bjugstad, who was cut open and went to the dressing room. Only goal in the game. Brad Boyes in the second, set up by Barkov. Here comes Kreider. Kulikov is back. Kreider goes wide. Kulikov played it nicely. Rick Nash for Stepan. Weaver. Call the cop. Weaver then gets hit solidly. Mathias unable to clear. Girardi plays it around the boards, and Nash with the puck now. Centering feed tipped away by Mathias and out. We approach 7 minutes to go. 20-19. The low shot totals in favor of the Rangers. Brassard got around Fleischmann to carry over the Panther line. Backhander in front, steered to the boards by Thomas. Centering feed, Stroman all alone. Tim Thomas comes out to rob him. Whoa, man.
Tim Thomas in denial. The push, watch him read the play, and again, out to challenge the shooter. Cuts down that angle. Knows where the pass is going to go. He's on that goal line, and look how quickly he's out. He was dead on that goal line, and he goes from the goal line to outside the blue paint in a blink of an eye to cut down that angle against Stroman.
Thomas hasn't faced a ton of shots in this game, but he's faced some real good scoring chances and made some huge saves, including that one right there. Barkov gloves it down, takes a swipe at it, and then Bergenheim pushes it down the ice.
Tim Thomas reads the play incredibly well. Gets over, and then two, he's just so aggressive in the nets once he reads that play.
Panthers 2 days ago beat the Canadiens here at home 4-1. Here with a 1-0 lead in the third. Look out, Rangers breaking in. Kulikov able to play it to the point. McDonough takes a swipe at it, missed, but Zuccarello is there. Kopetsky's lost his stick. Mathias with a big play to get it out of the zone. Mathias joins Gotch. Rangers get back defensively, and Gotch could not get it to Mathias cleanly for a redirection. Zuccarello the other way to give to Brassard, cutting in and shooting wide. Bouncing puck in the Panther zone. Girardi over to play it behind the Florida net. Now Zuccarello trying to settle the puck down. Zuccarello spins. Richards through Zuccarello. McDonough takes a shot deflected wide. Kulikov played it up the wall but not out. Now Kopetsky will try. Checked by Zuccarello. Weaver digs it free. Mathias the red line and the dump in. It's tooth and nail now. Bjugstad is back after taking the high stick, and Bjugstad gets the steal. What a play by Bjugstad. Girardi. Around the boards, Pouliot. Fires it all the way into the Panther zone. The race is on. Hagelin with Gilbert. And a penalty come. No, touch with a high stick. Hagelin doesn't like it. We get a timeout. Down the stretch we come in 2013. The calendar year is ending with a big finish. Cleveland Clinic's got our game recap. Panthers lead 1-0, less than 5 minutes left. Brad Boyes, it was set up by Alexander Barkov. The Panthers trying to close it out, get a second straight win. Now the Rangers will be charging hard here in the final 5 minutes. And there is Nick Bjugstad back after that vicious high stick. Look at that face.
Welcome to the NHL. You love that. Didn't happen in college. Wear the full visors in college. So Nick Bjugstad getting a taste. Probably like it. A little war wound. First big war wound in the NHL.
Brad Boyes picks up a loose puck. Lundqvist trying to get it with his mask intentionally. And I guess he did get a piece of it. FoxSportsFlorida.com, Panthers post-game coverage. The Dolphins football season. I don't need to add to that, do I? And the 25 stories of the 2013 year in Florida sports.
I caught you on the radio this morning, and you had a pretty good rant against the Dolphins and their dressing room and the emotion and everything, and talking about the old days. But you were going on. You were fired up.
You got to bring it, man.
You were bringing it.
We talked about a lot early in the season with this Panther team, didn't we? That you got to be energized and ready to go every game. You know, the Panthers have done a good job consistently over the last month and a half of doing that, and here trying to get the win.
And that's Stroman saved by Tim Thomas. Number 51, Brian Campbell, at the left of your screen is going to come out. Watch him move out of the way. 51, Campbell, he's going to let the goaltender do the job. Watch him. He gets right out of the way and lets Tim Thomas make that save. He backed out and said, hey, this is your job. I'm backing out. You saw Campbell get out of the way. Campbell stands in front there. He creates a big screen for his goaltender. That was a smart play by Campbell.
That's when you see those pucks change direction, get a little piece of the defensive player, and wind up going in. Brassard goes up the middle. Zuccarello taken by Richards. Gotch on the back check. Panthers got it to the line. McDonough holds it in. Tom Gilbert. Richards on him. Gilbert fights through. Matthias now. Smartly played it to the boards for Gotch in the clear. Kopetsky tracks it down. Moore is back. Gilbert trying to jump up. Brassard out of his own end. Brassard fights off the Fleischmann check. He couldn't fight off Kulikov with a solid hit. Drew Shore behind the net with Richards. Richards plays it around the boards. Brassard tracks it down up high. Shore after it again. Zuccarello as well, and then Bjugstad forced it out. So Shore now grabbing a shift with Bjugstad and Fleischmann on that line in Huberdeau's spot. Weaver, nice stick work there. Bjugstad uses the long reach to control and then finds Shore at center in the shoot-in. That's textbook right there, isn't it?
It is. Just get the pucks out at the lines, blue lines. Out of your own blue line, inside the other blue line. Make the Rangers come the full length of the ice.
Rangers in control here. Miller around for Stahl. The shot comes through wide. Pouliot over to play it. Campbell works on Hagelin. Miller gloves it down. Stolen by Barkov. And the clear deflected off the body of Boyes. McDonough's right back in. Floats one towards the net. Tim Thomas all the way. 2:26 to go.
Accurate collision of the game, Dmitry Kulikov. Standing up against Brassard. Shoulder and a good clean hit. Leverage. Middle of the ice, sees the head down, and time to go. Because that head is down, Kulikov can go. Good recognition by Kulikov. Puts the shoulder into Brassard for ADT collision of the game.
Stepan and Gotch in the circle. Gotch continues to work and got a stick on it. Weaver trying to get there, bottled up by Nash, taken by Stepan. Look out, the pass in front, chipped wide by Kreider. Kopetsky lost his stick, he's got to get to the bench, but Girardi has a lane and he scores! The Panthers could not get possession, and Dan Girardi ties it with 2:10 left.
Late goal for the Rangers. The defenseman, Dan Girardi, who was guilty of a turnover on the Panthers goal, sneaks down from the point. Kopetsky lost his stick. He went to the bench, and that's where it happened. When he went to the bench, Girardi came down. He never got back. Girardi was Kopetsky's man. I think Kopetsky is better off just standing there and not going to the bench to get his stick. When he left to the bench to get his stick, Girardi came down from his point position, got the puck, put it over the glove of Tim Thomas, and ties the game at 1. Tough break, literally, for Thomas Kopetsky as he broke his stick on that play. Led to that Dan Girardi goal.
Well, after 57 minutes and 50 seconds, we're back to square one. Literally. Panthers shoot in. Strawman is back. Boyle on the clear all the way down. Campbell has a step on Dorsett, and that's an icing on the Rangers.
And on that goal, Thomas Kopecky, you're going to see, I'm not even sure if he broke his stick. But he come down, watch here, he's going to lose his stick, and then he's going to go to the bench on a change. He can roll it, comes down, and I'm not sure if he broke his stick, but Kopecky now decides to leave. I think he could have even maybe picked up his stick. He goes to the bench, and Dan Girardi, his man now, comes down from the point, gets that wrist shot over the glove of Thomas.
Girardi ties it. Boys wins the faceoff. The shot right on from Gilbert. Lundqvist is there.
1-1, minute 47, and what a tight game. Both these goaltenders deserve a ton of credit.
Well, they had that double minor early in the period when Richards' high stick reached that. Yeah, you had your chance, as you said, to get that 2-goal lead. And, you know, 1-0 game, you're leaving so much to chance, like a guy losing his stick.
Yes.
Again, off the draw, the Rangers this time control. Girardi on the clear all the way down. No icing here. Gilbert gets back, overskated, and then took a hit. Now the scrum is on. Barkov plays for Bergenheim, and now it's Campbell. Bergenheim at center, gathers it in. Bergenheim over to Alexander Barkov. Cross ice, intercepted. And Moore flips it down. Panther goal came midway through the second period from Boys. Girardi tied it a minute ago. Kulikov flips in. Offsides on the Panthers.
Kopecky, Kulikov, everyone, well-rounded game. The ice has been tough to come by. There hasn't been a lot of it for either team. In those games, you had to work for everything that you have gotten.
Kulikov for Kopecky at the line. The Panthers couldn't get that puck deep. Strawman waits with a minute to go in regulation. The New Year's Eve matchup between the Panthers and the Rangers coming right down to the wire. Mathias after Strawman. Got a piece of it, but Stepan able to feed it back. Strawman up to center of that Panther logo. Now it's Nash. Offsides on the Rangers.
Big last shift and Hootie come out with for Peter Horchek. Alexander Barkov, 18-year-old. I love he's playing in every single situation. Confidence that you show him, why not? He's shown the ability, the maturity above the age. He's taken more face-offs and won more face-offs than any rookie in the NHL. He's over 50% for the year.
Tim Thomas a couple of minutes away from getting out of it unscathed. But Girardi able to get that goal. Here comes Bergenheim. And now Barkov taking a shot. Stick save Lundqvist. Panthers need to hustle back defensively. They do. Richards chips in. Campbell with 15 in his own end. And Campbell creeping up ice. Fires ahead. Bergenheim tips it over the line. McDonough there. Rangers get the late goal. And we have overtime once again here at the BB&T Center. Lundqvist against Thomas. It's been as advertised. They'll go 4-on-4. Overtime on New Year's is next. The goal scorer in the middle, Brad Boys. His goal coming in the second period. That guy tied it up with just 2:10 to go. And here it is. Nifty pass here off the turnover by Barkov to set up the Panther goal.
Good reach by Barkov in front of Brad Boys, and then little deft move at the end of it between the legs. 1-0, but late in the third, Kopecky loses his stick, goes to the bench. Bad change, unfortunately. Girardi down over the glove of Tim Thomas. I did the one late, and we got a little bonus action on the last day of 2013.
Here we go, 4-on-4. Bukestad is on with Fleischmann up front. Stepan and Nash up front for the Rangers. Free puck, and Stepan's got it, sending Nash in. Knocked down by Kulikov. Since Peter Horchek took over as coach, the Panthers 3-1 after regulation. All 4 games have gone to a shootout. Kulikov looking for a game winner, cranks it up, but it's blocked away. So interesting to note that. Panthers won 3 of those 4 shootouts, including back-to-back ones earlier in the month against the Red Wings and the Capitals. Last time Tim Thomas played a game, he won the shootout over Detroit. Barkov is in. Barkov trying to get around Stahl. Puck rolled on net, and Lundqvist will cover.
Overtime records for the 2 goaltenders, and Lundqvist has been in a lot of them. Good in shootouts. One of the game's best in the shootouts. Tim Thomas, too. 500 numbers and above 500 in the shootouts. This would be an electrifying goaltending battle if they go to the shootouts, wouldn't it?
That's for sure. Barkov stays on for the face-off against Richards. Stralman trying to climb away. Stralman speeds to center. And then stolen away by Barkov. There's another one by the 18-year-old. And then
again.
another one. And then to feed the boys. Man.
I think he has the ability and everything, but one thing, I think he might have the ability to win a Selke Trophy as a top defensive forward in the league as he goes forward. All the offensive abilities, but I think right now he's way above his years defensively. I think that's the best part of his game.
Here comes Gosh. Making his way over the line. Turns and shoots wide. Zuccarello for the Rangers. Ahead for Brassard. Little lift of the stick. Good play by Bergenheim along with Campbell. Minute 40 gone by in 4-on-4 play here in overtime. Tim Thomas and Henrik Lundqvist, the goaltenders. Kulikov. Offsides the call on the Panthers.
The Rangers, one of those teams not too far in front of the Panthers. You would have loved to have that extra point. A lot of teams to crawl over for the Panthers. Panthers 14th in the East. The Rangers 10th with 40 points. Both teams get a point tonight, but you would love to keep the Rangers to 0 no matter what.
Tough break on that play on the game-tying goal. When Kopecky lost his stick. Nice play, Kulikov. Throws it in behind the net. McDonough has trouble with it. Huberdeau's got it. Huberdeau up high for Kulikov. Takes a look. Under some pressure, and the puck deflects right into the Ranger bench. Boy, Kulikov's been good again in this one.
Much better. Ever spent that healthy scratch, and we haven't seen the blatant giveaways, the turnovers from Kulikov. He's keeping the game much simpler. He actually said, I don't think I'm playing any different than I was before the healthy scratch, but he said, I'm not having the blatant turnovers. Well, to me, that's different. And maybe it wasn't different in his mind, but to me, that was a big difference.
Well, Kulikov getting lots of time here. Bukestad against Stepan. Bukestad won it, but pulled it back. And it came out of the zone. Kulikov in his own end, spins away from Rick Nash. Bukestad down, crosses the line. The feed for Fleischmann with a chance wide. Kind of rolled on him a little bit, I think. And look out, Stepan has a step with Nash. Bukestad trying to get back. Stepan stopped by Tim Thomas. And the Panthers able to work it free. And Bukestad up ahead. Little too far for Fleischmann, but he'll track it down. Girardi checks Fleischmann. Fleischmann trying to pin it to the wall to wait for the help, and Barkov is there. Dug free. Here's Campbell. At the sharp angle. Makes a move. Gets around Stepan. Campbell throws it in front. Back again, Campbell. Takes a shot wide. Gilbert controls at the point. 2 to go in overtime. Campbell holds. Boyes is on right off the bench. Campbell tried to hold it in, but couldn't. Rangers looking for a break, but Hagelin got tied up with the referee. Do you believe that? And now Boyes with a steal. Picked up by Barkov. He shoots wide. Barkov again. Behind the net, Boyes. Backhander deflected away by McDonough. One more time for Barkov, but he couldn't control. Hagelin to center. Rangers look to break in 3-on-2. Here's McDonough. Saved by Thomas. Stralman held it in. Hagelin spins it to the end boards. Kulikov cut it off. Hagelin again, though. Now Brad Richards works his way up the wall. Richards check. Finds an open man. McDonough winds and shoots. Thomas again way out to make a save. Hagelin behind the net. Weaver checks him. Stralman at the point. Panthers need a clear or a whistle badly. Richards with a spin move. Knocked away by Boyes. Richards able to track it down. And now it's McDonough again, moving in front. Goes behind the net for Hagelin. Hagelin trying to stuff it home. Stopped by Thomas on McDonough.
Are you kidding me on that save? Oh, wow!
I can't believe he ever saw it.
Tim Thomas.
Icing on the Panthers in overtime. Unreal game.
Diabolical.
That's diabolical.
Watch this pad. He's down. Hagelin just tries to stuff it. And the quick shot, he just darts out with the right pillow. Sensational. He made 3 or 4 saves in this overtime period. He sees it through the maze of bodies. Able to get that right pad on it. And he's made 3 or 4 big saves here in this overtime.
Panthers call a timeout here in overtime to give everybody a chance to catch their breath. You know, Tim Thomas took a couple of extra days coming back from the injury. Boy, has he ever been sharp.
He hasn't. They took their time with Tim Thomas, too, this time. They made sure he was going to be ready to play with those injuries, and he has been ready. And watching Tim Thomas tonight, a lot of these shots you see in overtime, what he does differently than a lot of other goaltenders is that he doesn't commit to the butterfly. He'll stand up a lot. A lot of players try and go high. A lot of the NHL goaltenders today will commit to that butterfly and leave that top half exposed. He has the ability to stand up and wait. Takes away that top half of the net. It's been a fun one.
Here we go again. And Barkov, Boys, Kulikov, and Weaver. One more time. Draw in the Panther zone in the final minute of overtime. Brassard will take it against Barkov. Free along the boards. Girardi, backhander in front. Cut off Kulikov. Races out to center. Kulikov stolen away by Brassard. Taken back by Brad Boys. He walks in. Boys try to get in front. Knocked away in Zuccarello. 20 to go here in overtime. What a game. McDonough broken up by Bjugstad. Here comes Campbell. Panthers look for one last chance. Campbell moves over the line. Feeds Gilbert. He didn't get all of it. Campbell puts it in front. Fleischmann in the dying seconds makes a move. Holds it, shoots, and Lundqvist with the right pad. Oh, Thomas Fleischmann at the buzzer. One-on-one, and Lundqvist made the stop.
Tim Thomas was about at the blue line ready to celebrate. He threw his stick and hands in the air. Thomas Fleischmann had a chance, and Tim Thomas saves the day. We'll be back.
Henrik Lundqvist, Tim Thomas, 2 of the game's best, and no surprise we're 1-1 after 65 minutes with these two. Panthers roll out their usual 3 that have been outstanding. Barkov, Huberdeau, and the shootout king, Brad Boys. No one has more than him in NHL history, and he's 5 of 6 this year.
Tim Thomas and Henrik Lundqvist down at the other end, one of the game's best in the shootouts.
Let's take a look, Billy, at who Thomas will face. There it is on the official sheet. Zuccarello's always good in this skills competition.
Derek Stepan, and down in the final spot, Brad Richards.
Now, the Rangers have not been in many this year. They're 2-1. Lundqvist, 1-1. He's given up some goals in the shootouts. Panthers, as you know, have been in many of them, and Thomas is 3-1 this season in shootouts. He's been good. There's a look at the goaltenders tonight.
Been fun watching these two. Henrik Lundqvist, any question? I mean, Cam Talbot pushed him a little bit, but it's his job. I mean, he struggled at times. Henrik Lundqvist has 7 years of 30-plus wins. It was only broken, he would have 8. It was broken last year because of the lockout-shortened season. Henrik Lundqvist and Tim Thomas getting set to battle it out, mano-a-mano, a shootout at the OK Corral.
Interesting, since Peter Horachek has taken over, Panthers have gone overtime 5 times. All 5 games have gone to shootouts, and the Panthers have won 3 of 4. So they'll try to keep what was once just, an awful problem for the Panthers getting into shootouts. They'll try to keep what's been a great run in shootouts going, and, well, having those 3 guys on the right side of the screen helps.
Rob Tallis usually spends the day up here with us in the press box. But when it comes to the shootouts, the goaltending coach goes right down next to Peter Horacek, and he does a lot of scouting on the goaltenders at the opposition. He'll go down and lend a hand on the opposition shooters. Rob Tallis, the goaltending coach, does a tremendous job with these goaltenders, and he offers his advice to the shooters and on the opposition goaltender.
All right, Tim Thomas up to him. First, he will face Mats Zuccarello. Rangers will shoot first. Everybody rises to their feet. Plenty of time till midnight. Why not go with a little shootout hockey on New Year's Eve? And Zuccarello slowly walks in on Thomas, deliberately, nearly stopping, and Tim Thomas, you're not going to shoulder fake that guy.
Get it out of here. Slow, deliberately slow. Tim Thomas just stays with him the whole way. Zuccarello looked skyward and he flinched a little bit. Not getting the veteran Tim Thomas to bite on that one.
Interesting. Here's Barkov. We've seen some dandies from the 18-year-old. He's been red hot of late. Barkov, the 18-year-old against Lundqvist. Barkov could not tuck it in. He tried that move, but Lundqvist got a piece. He did have him leaning.
Had to go to the move a little bit earlier. He was too late getting to it. You can see he gets in too tight. Kind of bobbled it, but too tight. Allows Lundqvist to reach out with that glove. I think if he starts that move earlier and gets that stick out there, might have a chance against Lundqvist.
Step on. Sweeps in on fellow American Tim Thomas, and Thomas again stands tall.
That's the big thing with Tim Thomas. He does not go down in the butterfly. A lot of goaltenders would drop into the butterfly. He stays up. Step and try to go high. Got that blocker on it. Thomas stumbled a little bit.
Look who it is. Huberdeau's been super in the shootouts. His second year in the NHL, trying to give the Panthers the lead in on Lundqvist. And Lundqvist got a piece of it again. Too tight.
The move and the quick. Look at the quick stick. Yes, if you're going to do those moves, that allows Lundqvist keeps that stick in, and then the quickness, but you're too tight to the goaltender, allows him to quickly dart out with that poke check and deny Huberdeau.
Here's a couple of guys that have been around the block a few times. Stanley Cup winners. Conn Smythe Trophy winners. Richards speeds in on Thomas, and he scores. Now the Panthers need one to stay alive.
Total different philosophy than we saw from Zuccarello, the first shooter. Flies down, the quick move, and that time gets it around. Because of that speed, he's allowed to get to that forehand and get it over the blocker of Thomas.
Nobody has scored more goals in shootouts than Brad Boyes. And he's blistering hot. He needs to score here to keep the Panthers going. Nothing doing. Henrik Lundqvist jacked up. And 1 point slips away from the Panthers. The Rangers tie it late in regulation and then win the shootout.
Heck of a game all the way around. Henrik Lundqvist. They will get it down. The Rangers celebrate on the bench. Late goal from Dan Girardi. Tied it up at 1. Panthers had a 1-0 lead from about midway through the second period until right at the end of the third period when Girardi tied it up. Henrik Lundqvist did the rest. Overtime, the shootout, he was perfect. And the Panthers, in what was really a well-played hockey game on both sides, fall 1 goal short.
Well, a bitter pill to swallow. And this one looked like the Panthers were going to finish off the Rangers. They had a 4-minute power play in that third period with about 12 minutes to go when they were already up 1-0. Could not get one more by Lundqvist. And then in the shootout, the Panthers, who have been so good in the shootouts, could not beat Lundqvist again. And Brad Richards, the only goal in the shootout to end the New Year's Eve thriller, 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. Let's go down to the desk. Here's Drew.
Coming up on Panthers Live postgame, we're going to have highlights of a very exciting finish here in Sunrise to cap off the 2013 calendar year. Plus, we're going to have some postgame reaction, and Bill Lindsay will help me break down all of the game. That and more coming up during Panthers Live postgame. Goldie, back to you.
All right, Drew, thanks very much. They head home from the BB&T Center for the final time in 2013. The Rangers pull it out over the Panthers in the shootout, 2-1. Panthers Hockey on Fox Sports Florida was brought to you by Lexus. The all-new Lexus IS. It's your move at your South Florida Lexus dealer. And by Accurate Collision, the official collision shop of the Panthers. Henrik Lundqvist came up big, stopping all 3 Panthers shooters. We'll have all the highlights, reaction from the locker room, and more. Panthers Live postgame is coming your way next.